At the start of an observation log of my fiancé, who calls herself a villainess, Cecil is a little evil genius in the making. He's very calculating, operating on logic, and lacking in emotions. Even at 10, he's perfect at everything he tries and the smartest person in the room. So when he can't figure out why Bertia is going on about otome games, he becomes curious. Luckily, that leads him to discover that the details of the future as seen from her past life are real.
His enjoyment of her is very exciting, and I love seeing the isekai villainess from his point of view as someone from that world.
Bertia loves his character from the game so much that she's willing to become the villainess just so that he can have his happily ever after. This makes her outwardly reluctant to fight for their engagement, but she brings so much intrigue to his otherwise predictable life that he feels drawn to her. He takes her seriously whenever she brings up information from the game, and while she thinks they're keeping him on the path to the heroine ending, Cecil would rather Bertia be the one he ends up with. It's interesting watching him dig deeper into whatever details she says and then twist the situation to suit his purposes.
Trying to figure out what he was setting up to avoid her plans was interesting.
This leads him to thwarting Bertia's attempts to set him up with the heroine. When she counters by pairing off all the other guys with eligible matches so that the prince would be the only route left, it was funny to watch and added some depth to her friend group. I enjoyed having Cecil as the main character, and being inside his head often brought laughs and made him more endearing, even when he was being sort of conniving. I love their dynamic as a couple, and I think they're really cute together. Even though she can be a little off the rails and he's trying to control everything behind the scenes, they still care for each other in their own way. And Bertia is helpless in the face of his machinations, and every time you see him smirk, you know things are about to get good.
He was such a well-written, smart character, and the show did a good job setting up his plans without giving it all away before it was fully executed.
But she elicits emotions in Cecil that he's never experienced, so it's cute to watch him try to interpret fledgling love and worry. After he realized he cares for her, watching him try to figure out whether she actually likes him or cares more about the game's true ending was bittersweet. He's trying so hard to make her think of him romantically, yet she's so dead set that the events have to follow the game's story. And when he does finally meet the heroine, he wants nothing to do with her. It doesn't help that she also remembers the game from her previous life, so her advances on Cecil come off as overly aggressive. She acts so entitled and morphs herself into the villainess in her attempts to steal him for herself, so he's completely turned off by her. Cecil refuses to allow the events of the game to decide his life path, and everything comes to a head at their graduation. This turning point allowed us to see the full extent of magic in their world, which still came with a few surprises.
The backstory of this world and the kings that we get in the final episode was really surprising to both the viewer and Bertia, as it was details that weren't clear in the version of the world that she had been playing in the game from the heroine's perspective, and really proved why the different endings from the game happened the way that they did.
This show gave us a true happily ever after with everything wrapped up in a single 12-episode season, which warms my heart. It's so satisfying to have an experience be whole and complete instead of leaving me yearning. I was captivated while watching, and I loved the character dynamics so much. There was just the right amount of drama and court politics to raise the stakes without making it stressful. And I'm sure that it helps that Cecil's the kind of complicated male lead that I prefer.
You really can tell when a show is well structured with a set plan for what it wants to be, and it's even better when it can get it all done in one season.
So for me, this was a great 9 out of 10.